Yo.
Should we turn down that music?
Nah, it's barely picking it up, picking us up more than.
So Alex tried to follow us, huh?
Nah, that's a scam.
It's a scam bot.
Yeah, we actually follow his actual account, and it's a completely different account. I get so many of those. I get like Wendy O is always trying to follow me. James from the It's so funny. Coin, like alternate, I think coin skills. I think.
Yeah, it's like 4 different ones.
Yeah, that's just funny. I wonder if I could separate those guys. Display one.
You hear Big Boy suing some food?
Yeah, he's suing Celsius, no? Or he's suing a guy.
I think it was like a crypto influencer.
Oh shit. Yeah, he's really fast to sue people. He likes to sue people. Like Celsius, he was about to pull the trigger on the lawsuit.
Big Boy crypto drops a lawsuit on rival YouTuber. That's
Dirty.
That's how you do it.
Some cutthroat shit right there. Wonder why though.
And you hear the shit with Voyager?
No.
They're offering. They want to give fucking. Um, they want to give some of their employees $1.6 million in bonuses.
What? What the fuck? You fucking dirty ass motherfucker. There's 3 Arrows Capital want to also, and fucking and Celsius.
Yeah, motherfucker. All their CEOs,
They're like,
they still want their bonuses.
yeah, it's like motherfucker. Like, do you understand? Like,
so people are all pissed off. Like, yo, I can't get my fucking money.
But you
guys are gonna give yourself bonuses.
Yeah.
You guys fucking ran this shit into the floor. You're bankrupt now, but you're gonna give yourself bonuses.
Sounds funny. It sounds like
Crazy.
Sounds like the regular markets. Crypto ain't no different now. Alright. Oh shit. Isn't there a last one? Cause you fuck don't show. Fucking A.
So we've all been there once.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. We're gonna go sideways on that thing. Alright. Is there anybody on YouTube? Nobody on Well, let's find out if we have some. If we get a loop, then we know we have some. Yep.
well, let's find out.
I don't know what the hell that is. It looks terrible.
We should start doing reaction videos.
We should. We do on separate shit. Ah, came in the. Because I've been at the training facility, so I have not been able to like sit and look at any of this stuff. I get to hear it on the way home when I'm driving from Chino, but
Back to 9, baby.
oh,
Back to 9, baby. Can they see this?
Yeah, they can see this. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. That's a good.
That's good news.
Dude.
Well, that's good news.
Okay, well,
One of the things we wanted to talk about was opportunity.
Yeah,
Opportunity is the fucking word of the day.
Oh shit, we've been in 9 for the last 2-3 days. Oh fuck. Oh, we dropped down to. Oh no, it's 10. How the fuck does it show 10 and 9 but looks short?
They can't see it on here.
No, not here.
So I mean, maybe you guys will see it a little later. We're looking at the CBBI, and it's giving us a reading of 9, and basically it's
that's the price. Okay.
It's like a collection of indicators that kind of give us a sense of whether we are at the top. So when it hits 100, that's kind of like, hey, you're at the top of the market. And we are right now sitting at 9. So if you haven't been here and you're wondering what does that mean really, for those that have actually been paying attention to some of the shit that we've been posting, that really means that we're at one of the most prime positions to buy in. On the CBBI, we really want to be around single-digit numbers. It's basically telling you that, like, hey,
rock bottom.
Yeah, we're pretty rock bottom. You know, so that's definitely a very positive thing. If you're looking for an entry point, is to wait for the CBBI to hit single-digit numbers, and then start our cost averaging. That's I guess if you're already in. If you haven't jumped in yet, I mean that's just a great place to start.
Yeah, I started at 9 on the CBBI.
Yeah, where did you start? Where were we at on the CBBI?
Let's see.
Like 99 on the CBBI.
Oh fuck!
What were you, Planeshkoyo, on the CBI when you were started investing?
Okay, I would say we were around what time? Was that like?
For me, it would have probably been like January of
2021.
What?
Oh no, 2020 is right before the COVID crash.
Right after.
Right after. Okay. Yeah. So the COVID crash was in March. So then, yeah, the following year, then 2021 in January.
Rock bottom. You got the CBBI at the rock bottom or what?
You actually got
no. He couldn't have.
You got
my first buy was October 2019.
2019?
Yeah. What was that? Oh no, we're looking at CBBI right now. I'll tell you that.
All right.
October 2019.
So over here. 2020, 2019 September. He was at 33.
You were at 33 on the CBBI.
In the 30. You're in the 30 range, which is not bad actually.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That's not a bad.
That's pretty.
Oh hey, what's up, man? That's one of the guys that was on the podcast the other day. The basketball.
Oh,
podcast.
Okay. Cool.
So no, we're doing crypto today. We're just looking at we do every Thursday crypto
and sesh.
Yeah. So if you're into that sort of thing, we actually meet in person, and if you want to partake, you can.
Smoke weed for free.
Yeah, and it's at the
Malinali Superfoods.
Malinali Superfoods on Whittier. Native ran, native owned, brown people owned.
Shout outs to Malinali Superfoods.
Yeah, shout out to them. Maybe you want to join us. But for now, what we do, we're actually live on YouTube. And you can actually see what we're looking at. We're looking at charts and stuff all about, on crypto and other notifications and stuff on the market. So
we're just getting started here.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to jump in with us, or what's good? You're gonna catch it on YouTube.
Maybe I could ask him to join.
What about you, Mr. Planeshkoyo? You want to join us or what?
Oh, there you go. We got a request. We accepted. Have you seen the recent Ghazi? How do you see the Ghazi channel, bro? I couldn't find that indicator.
I don't use the Ghazi channel indicator.
Yo. Yeah, where?
Can't hear you.
He's
Hands
eating.
up.
He's eating.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera so I can show the crowd what we're looking at. That's all hazy. Oh yeah. All right. So this is what we're looking at here. So for those, oh, you know why? It's because of the camera in the below. Let's turn this off for now. We don't need it until we flip it over. Let's turn it off.
So you're making money yet or what?
Oh, dog, I'm
A few months ago.
I'm making stupid money.
All right, there you go.
How much money?
Nice amount. several hundreds of percentages.
Oh, that's good. That's a good sign.
No, some hundreds of percent.
Percentages.
All right. Fuck it. I'm just gonna get into it, yo.
Trimming the hedges on many small villages.
All right. So, for those of you that don't know, this is one of the indicators that we look at. This is called the CBBI. Don't ask me what it stands for. I don't fucking know. Crypto, the Collins Talk or Bitcoin Bull. Collins Talk Bitcoin Bull Run Index. So that's what it stands for. I had no idea. I just know.
Good looking out, Collins.
Yeah,
Good
shit, Collins. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming this might be Collins. But if you want,
That's Collins. That is not who I pictured Collins would look like.
So if you guys want to know what indicators they use to create this chart, because they use a handful of shit, it's all this stuff right here. So I don't even know what half this stuff means. I don't really care to learn it. It's too much information. I just know what this chart means. Yeah. You don't need to know.
All of that makes this chart.
Yeah, and this chart is hella fucking accurate for those of you that don't know. So, in case you guys don't know, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, whenever the CBBI hits 90 to 100, more history has shown that we are at the top of the crypto market, and vice versa. If we're at 10 or below, we're at the bottom. And a good example of that, let's see, probably right here. Maybe not right there. What is that? 2020? When was the last bear market?
Go back a little bit more.
Let me go 6 years. Okay, this is 6 years. So in 2017, no, sorry, 20. What the fuck is that? 2017.
That's the bottom.
Okay, that's the bottom. So this was in January of 2019, right before the 2020 bull run. It hit 4.
Damn.
So, oh shit. Oh man. Oh. Homie's at the hospital. I'm not gonna ask why because I think I know. It might be that time.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Oh, hey, what? No. Stay with us, Lanash Coyo. Stay with us. This is important. We're talking about Bitcoin here. You know what I'm saying? You need this information right now. All of that other shit that could wait.
This is more important.
Yeah. That could take days, bro. You only get this alpha, you know what I'm saying? This alpha right now. Let's talk about making money right now, dog. You need to get your priorities straight.
You only got 2 years. And then it's gone. And we're back to the bottom.
All right, go back.
So okay, all right. So the CBBI in 2019 was at 4. That was the bottom. The price of Bitcoin was at 3,000. If you followed that chart and waited till it got to the tippy top, which was at, what did I say? Anything above 90. Anything above 90. So we zoom up here.
I don't think it even hit that.
Oh, wait, that was a recent one. No, I wanted to look at the one prior.
Prior, right here.
Okay, my bad, yo. It's because we did something funky this last one. All right, let's do the all. Let's just look at all time, and then for sure see. Okay, here we go. All right, so the 2011 bear market was right here. It had hit 10, 11. It was in that range that we were talking about, 9, 10. If you followed it up to 100 or 90 or wherever the fuck it went, so if we look right about here, CBBI at 100. So if you had bought in at $4, follow the CBBI and waited till $100, you would have sold at $1,151. from owning it at $4 to $1,000. What's the math on that?
I don't know.
It's too much.
A lot of hundreds.
It goes in a lot. Yeah. So that was the first bull run. Now we follow it down. It drops again. This is down in 2015. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. It was the CBVI was once again below 10. See, we had 6, 7. It ranged for a few months like that. Then you follow it up, and where does it take you? All the way up to 100 or 90, 99, and the price went from
That's close to 100.
$250, give or take, and it went all the way up to 98 at 19,000. So if you would have bought down here at $3, sold at $1,000, bought back in back at the bottom of it again at $200, and then bought back in again and sold it at 19,000, you'd be probably a millionaire.
Yeah.
Or somewhere close.
You'd be the first gazillion.
Yeah, you'd be rich as shit. So fast forward to the most recent one that happened. So we dropped all the way down to 6 and 4, and that's back at $3,000. So you would have sold your 20, reamped it again, back down here at 3. That's like stupid profits.
What are you doing?
So what the fuck is he doing? He's not looking at it.
Oh, Miss fucking.
Is he fucking doing that kind of bullshit?
He's trying to kiss the little flying thing.
Oh my god. Oh no, that's that game. That's that fucking game. That's what I'm trying to play. It's a fucking fishy bird thing. Stupid ass. Welcome to the men's circle.
Hey, we're talking about alpha here,
Yeah,
dog.
over here
We over here playing games and shit.
Yeah, man, so I'm gonna take this fool off.
All right, get back focused, center yourself.
All right.
Jesus.
So yeah, so if you would have bought in at 3,000 and you would have rode it up, fucking dead. We didn't. Now here's the weird part though. We didn't make it to 100 this time around. What's the best part of me? You're fucking dead. even if you didn't ride it all the way to the tippy top, that's like at 55,000. If you bought at 3,000, you rode it up to 50. Even if you sold anywhere in between that, you made significant profit.
Right.
We are now once again down here at the 9s and 10 zone. So if history repeats itself, which it kind of is, history rhymes though, it doesn't repeat. So it's kind of rhyming. We can assume that this is a bottom. I'm not going to say it's the bottom because we see, obviously we didn't make it to the tippy top. So that might not have been the top either. Because I don't know if you can tell, there's little peaks and valleys, so it kind of drops back down again. So we might be in one of those drop down, and it might even run even higher. We're kind of all aiming at that direction, that it might run even higher.
I am definitely of that theory.
Yeah, I think I might be in that theory as well. But this is definitely a place to buy in, y'all. And if you guys haven't noticed, which is going to lead me to the next spot, right now Bitcoin's at 21,000. It did a little mini run. I think Exposed can explain where it went. I don't want to, cut into his meats and potatoes, but it went back down. So it's still once again an opportunity to buy in. If we look at the market cap, we're still hanging in at $1 trillion, so that's cool. Fucking guy. You look like your ancestors, bro. Who's having too much fun over there?
That's the kind of shit he was doing.
Yeah.
I looked over.
Fucking guy.
You're a fucking mental. Hey, we're trying to be serious over here, fucker. Stop playing. Plano Escoyo has a serious question.
I don't have an answer to that question, but his question was, when do y'all think we'll top out again? What I think top of the next goal run, which is kind of tough. But let me.
bro.
Let me explain.
Yeah, that doesn't answer his question.
No, not at all. It just tells them exactly what he's asking. But let me further explain. When I say the top, I'm referring to the halving cycle because the top is always post-halving cycle.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what I was going to. I know it sounded kind of stupid and redundant, but no, I was going somewhere with that.
Okay. So I would say
And that's
in
in
terms
April, by the way,
in
2020.
terms of time frames, it is very, very, very difficult to determine time frames. Like when something is going to happen, right? Like whether you're using fundamentals to make your trades in and out, or if you're using technical analysis, it's really, really hard to time things. So I would say that like anybody that's giving actual time frames on anything, be really skeptical of.
Take it for a
Like
grain
when,
of salt.
when we say like, oh, by we'll be at the bottom by December, or we're gonna be at the top by December, or things like that. Like take that shit for a grain of salt because it's very, very difficult
Yeah.
to time things. You could only like you only have the data that you have,
Right.
right? And if the data that you have doesn't say top or bottom,
Then
you're not at the top or bottom. You know, and it's as simple as that. Like you gotta on a technical analysis side, you gotta read the chart for what it's telling you. You can't, you can't add anything to it. You know, no matter how much we want it to be a certain place or we want the price to be somewhere, whether top or bottom. You know what I mean? Like we have to read what is.
Right.
You know, and that's the part of taking the emotions out of trading. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what we want, it's not what we want. It's what is. You know, and we have to be able to look at the chart and determine what it is. You know, is it calling a top? Are the RSIs? Is everything overpriced and everything is pointing that like, hey, take your profits and get the fuck out? Are we at the bottom where all the RSIs are in the floor? All these indicators are telling you, hey, this is the bottom. You know, you might want to start buying in now. You can only read it for what it's telling you, no matter how much we want it to go in any direction. So anybody that's talking about time frames, like, be careful with that.
And you could get one, and you could suggest one, and we could suggest it to our faces with it. There's a high chance it cannot be happening. And you know what's the other crazy thing you got to consider is when enough people are like, oh, everything is pointing to that. It almost always is the opposite.
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody who plays the game smart is like, well, I'm not going to do what everybody's thinking because it's not beneficial to me.
Right.
Yeah. So it has a tendency to go the opposite of what we think. And look, that's what happened. You know, everybody expected Bitcoin to hit 100,000 this time around. The last, halving cycle, and it didn't. It hit fucking 70, almost 70, and then it fucking went back down. You know, I even bought it assuming at like 65, assuming it was going to 100. You know, because I'm like, okay, well, we're not at the top, and even CDBI showed that we weren't at the top.
Yeah.
All the indicators.
And the other thing with the halving cycles and their correlation to the bull runs, like if you were to map out when we hit the tops, you know, like how long does it take to go from one top to another top to another top? They're like expanding.
Yeah.
In terms of like about 2 years or so. You know what I mean? So from the first bull run to the second bull run was 2 years. From the second bull run, I'm talking tops, right?
Right.
From the second bull run to the last bull run, or the third bull run, was 4 years, right? So you're looking at like 6 years, possibly being the top of our current bull run, which would put us kind of like in a weird place. You know, like I think the best way to describe it is like because we never hit the top. You know, because we never overcried. You know, this is a correction of a bull market. You know what I mean? It's a corrective phase of the bull market. This is a time when things are expanding like they are in like much bigger cycles. You need longer cool-off periods in order to eventually get there. Right. You know, so I do believe that 100,000 Bitcoin is still on the table. You know what I mean? It's just not in the time frame that we were thinking previously, looking at 2-year cycle intervals. You know what I mean? So I think that's where, once again, anybody talking about time, like, oh, this is when this is going to happen because of X, Y, and Z. Like, we got to be really careful about that because we can only call what what it is. Like, if you're using fundamentals, you can only call it for what's going on right now.
Right.
And what do you have? What is the data that you have to work with right now? You know.
And if you're using fundamentals, it's even worse because like literally it's based on what's going on in the news, what's going on with the project itself that's being talked about. And one day it could look awesome, and the next day it could look terrible. If a war cracks off, well, guess what? Fundamentals says we're at the bottom again, or vice versa. Oh, the Fed stopped doing the rate hike. Oh, we're now the markets are looking good. Oh, well, now fundamentals saying we're gonna go to the 50 top. So it's even worse. So in technical, at least you have kind of like exact number targets, and that's something you kind of rely on.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, I will say 2024 only because a significant thing that crypto has versus like equity markets is the halving cycle, and that's the one thing crypto has that the equity markets don't have, and it's the one thing we all can rely on. So even if it didn't hit the tippy top, we did go for a run during the halving cycle.
Yeah.
And I would imagine it's not going to be any different this next halving cycle because it's a supply shock for those of you that don't know, and as long as there's a supply shock, the value of it's going to increase. And we were even kind of tripping out the other day about the volume is steadily decreasing, but the price is doing the opposite, and it's because of supply shock. So
that's and that's counterintuitive, right? That's not what you would think. It's like, what do you mean? Like, the volume decreases, but the price increases. Like, there's no correlation between the amount of volume and the price. And most other things, there is correlation, and there has to be. Where it comes to something that's deflationary, like Bitcoin, there's not. And it's just something new and something that, like, we have to consider. What does this mean on top of the rest of the data?
Right. Yeah. So interesting stuff. But 2024 in April is the next halving cycle, sometime in April. So I'm not saying that that's going to be the top, but if I were to guess a time where the coin will soar a little more than average, I would say that is definitely a targeted time frame. But not financial advice here. Yeah. Trade at your own fucking risk. All right.
Did you see that guy followed it?
Yeah, we follow the actual guy. You know that?
Oh, that's not the actual guy?
No.
That's not Alex. That wasn't really Alex. That was like one of those Bonka MF Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Characters that like pretend to be MF Doom at the concert.
What?
That was Alex. That was
Alex what?
Ignacio, not Alex.
Ignacio Bot.
Okay,
Ignacio.
that's possible.
Yeah, because they buy their followers. It's funny because I'll follow some of these.
Don't find out more.
We can.
We'll steal our coins to our own bots.
It's a little unethical, but we can. But there ain't no ethics in capitalism.
Hey,
So.
well, there's not very much ethics in the men's circle.
Yeah. Don't come here looking for fucking ethics. I might give some, but that's probably all you're gonna get.
As far as it goes.
As far as it goes. The red hot.
We preach the shit. We don't practice it.
Fuck yeah.
That's our slogan.
We tell you how to live, but we don't live it.
The men's circle. We preach the shit. We don't practice.
Oh my god. Okay, so moving forward.
Stop it, nigga. Stop it.
Oh man. Okay, so like I said, 1 trillion in market cap. We got 64 billion in volume. That's a decent amount. So right now the dominance of Bitcoin's at 39, which is kind of low. I think last week was even higher. No, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
It's like in the 40s.
40s, right? So it's
39.
fucking
It's 39.
30. Yeah, it's been that long. It's so we can change the time frame to like a month.
You think we'll ever go back to 60%?
At some point, yeah, if the market goes really shitty, they go bonkers on the downside. Let's see, let's go a year. Hold on, let's see. There was
Some of these powerful calls.
let me see, where is that? Oh no, this is the cap. I'm trying to look at the. No, it's a chart with a bunch of different. Here it is. Oh, but look, we're on a decline though. This is the dominance. Look at the chart; it's slowly on a downtrend.
Mm-hmm.
So right now,
Altcoin season.
not too low, but people are pulling out of it. So as of right now, okay, so like let's go down to like 7 days. Alright, now we'll go. Let's go 3 months. Too flat on 7 days. Okay, so in June it was all the way up at 47. So as we've been going, it's been slowly decreasing to 43. This is now late late July. So now we dropped past 40 in mid August, and we're at right now at 39. So we're from in June at around 46 down all the way to 39. So yeah, people are pulling out of Bitcoin for whatever reason. Let's see what if anything's gone up. Ethereum looks like it's actually making a slow progression upward. It was so around that same time. ETH was at 17, and now it actually had dropped pretty low. It had dropped down to so at 17 it dropped down to about 14, even lower. Yeah, 14ish, and now we're back up at 19, almost 20% for ETH. So it's actually higher than it was back in June. So ETH is actually probably taking some of that capital from Bitcoin and actually filling its bag. And the reason for that is the Ethereum the 2.0 network. The 2.0 is happening. They said it was supposed to be this month. They were supposed to start the process of transferring over to ETH 2.0, and I don't know if it's happening. All the other coins seem kind of relatively flat. They don't really seem like they're doing anything fancy. What I am noticing is, let's see, what is that thing? BNB? BNB got passed up by a different coin. USDC. Oh, okay, so BNB got passed up by USDC coin, so that's kind of interesting. People putting their money in USDC. That's a stable coin for those of you that don't know. And we'll look at the fear and greed. Um, fear and greed. That one's been kind of ranging really hardcore lately. It's been going like low. It almost went into greed not that long ago, and then now it's back down to fear. So we're at 27. We look back. Last week we were in fear, but look at high 30s. Yesterday was extreme fear at 25. See if I can go back. Okay, so this is July. So in July we were at 42. You notice we tanked all the way back down. We went back up to 40, 45, and then now we're down to 25. So people are ranging from extreme fear to kind of like almost greed. We almost hit the greed level. So
That's how volatile crypto is.
yeah, people are like, yeah, fucking get it all in, and like, I'm terrified.
I'm all out.
I'm all out. Sell. So yeah, don't be those people. Use money like that. Oh wow, ETH is at 5 Gwei. You wanted to buy ETH? Now is the time.
Right now.
Holy shit, I might buy some.
Right
God
now.
Damn, I might buy some.
Like
5
right
Gwei.
now.
The fees are
like 3 minutes ago.
non-existent. Wow, that's crazy. Whew. Okay, well, let me see. I think that's some weird feed shit on my stuff. Ignore that, people. Ignore that.
Wow.
Let's see. There's some charts that I saw earlier this week that I wanted to share. Where are you? Where's my dude, James at? Nope, not James Hetfield. Fortunately, James Hetfield doesn't give me good crypto analysis. It says. Why is the C and the V right next to each other? Goddamn.
Whoa.
Whoa. Alright, so one thing that I recommend everybody do on Tuesday is watch James. You don't have to watch any of his other videos, but on Tuesday, watch his
Bitcoin. And when you do that, you can see that the bottom
which is
is pretty
on-chain
much in.
technical analysis. So it's a
Getting
little
to
bit of
know your
TA,
business
but with
doesn't have to
fundamentals
look like this. Just Google
fused
L.
together. It's the best of both worlds, and it gives you a lot of free charts that you don't have access to because we're poor and don't want to spend money. So this week he starts off with the majority of the news, and we were in a lot of ugly news. Let me see why. I don't remember half the stuff he said, but we'll go into it. Oh my god, these fucking commercials.
Good thing we're in a sesh.
Oh yeah, sesh time. You got haven't made the smoke of the slow day, two of the stocks. We don't care about that.
Yes.
Yes. Who asked that? Oh. Oh, Adrian was in here earlier. He did that. Adrian? Metalhead singer Adrian? Oh, nice. On a Thursday, huh? Oh, this was kind of interesting. So this was like, I don't know if it was this one. So one thing that was happening that's kind of weird is that the Ethereum volume of new wallets is increasing, but the amount being put in was like not matching that. I don't know if it's this same chart, but it's just kind of looks kind of weird. Let's see. What else is there? Oh, this is his channel. So I guess he drew out a TA channel, and you can see who fell out of that channel. So yeah, buy, sell, buy, sell. If you would have made this little trading channel indicator, you could have had tops and bottoms. I don't know what this time frame is. It's 1 day. 1 day. That's kind of cool. Let's see what else we got here. It's kind of hard. I was watching this while I was driving, so I can't really look at it. Oh, this is the fear and greed. It was ranging. It was on an uptrend. Over here, you guys can see that it was the fear and greed was on an uptrend, and we took a dump based on the price. Yeah, I think it's possible ETH can overtake BTC. I think it'll be a short period of time, but I do think it can happen. I think it'll be a brief, like only maybe a week or something. But we'll see.
What would be the catalyst for something like that?
It's split. I mean, it's a merger, not split. Merger.
Oh, you think it's gonna do it very soon?
Relatively, because the merger doesn't take a while. It's not.
Oh, it's not an instant
It's
thing?
not.
I thought it was
It's,
like a September.
no, it's like a. I don't know. I can't even. I don't have the answer for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I don't know. It's complicated.
But it's not a single event.
Yeah, because
In my head, I thought it's like they flip from one to the other. Okay, now we're on another.
no, I think it's more like
blockchain or
a zipper. Think of it like a zipper. Like you
It's
gotta
slow.
like integration. Yeah. I think, but I heard that they were going to start the process already this month. So I think that's why it's getting so bullish already, because that the process started. But I could be wrong.
And one thing we got to be careful of is what do they call it? Buy the rumor, sell the news, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like there's a lot of hype behind this
Right.
merger.
Right.
You know, and anytime we've seen, things where you would think like, oh man, this is great. You see like really big sells off, whether it's like Shiba Inu getting on like centralized exchanges,
Mm-hmm.
and then the price dumps on you, or
Yeah.
the what was it, Cardano did like smart contracts and the fucking price dump.
Right.
That was like literally the top.
And that's because people who already been knowing about the project and follow them knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Bring a lot of hype in, and they sell when everybody comes in. Yeah.
So we gotta be careful. I would say,
Yeah.
let's kind of be aware that is a thing.
Right.
You know, not to say that like that's what's gonna happen, but yeah, just something to be considered.
The other thing that they're saying that would still drive the price up, even if that did happen, is that a lot of people, because how the nodes work is that you have to stake your ETH, so people can't sell, they can't dump.
Right.
So that was like a factor that you have to consider.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to hold a lot of ETH too, like 20,000.
Well, you can't sell the ETH that is staked.
Right. You could trade,
but
more.
You could sell what was purchased on the pump.
Correct.
You know, so we've gone through a nice little pump. I would imagine we're going to continue to pump a little more as we get closer to the date. You know, all of that ETH is liable to get done.
Right. Valid. Okay, so this is the weekly asset flows. So you notice we've had a few weeks back we had a really high run of incoming assets, and then it kind of died off, and then it had a little small pump again. Now we're in the negative. People are starting to sell. That's just what that's showing. And I like this chart. I love this thing right here. So this is our weekly, monthly, and year-to-date flows of crypto. So these are in millions. So weekly, Bitcoin lost 15 mil. Monthly, Ethereum lost 44 mil. But year to date, we're still up 275 mil. ETH got an increase.
That's a lot of millions.
Yeah. ETH is up almost 3 million just in this week. So as you can tell, people are putting money in it. Monthly, they're up 19 million, almost 20.7. They might as well call it 20. But year to date, they're down almost 300, almost what Bitcoin's up.
Whoa, that almost doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's probably the flow. They probably people sold their ETH and bought Bitcoin. It's kind of
no. How is it that Bitcoin is still up 275 million
year to date?
Year to date, but the year to date it was worth 30,000, and right now it's worth 20.
I think it's
Look, we were
market cap. It's based on market cap, regardless of the price.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Wait, what?
So let's see. Other multi-assets. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's up 2.7. What is multi? I don't know what that is. I don't remember that being there. Binance is up 500,000. Not a big deal. It's only been up 600,000 and down 21 mil. Do we? Oh, I think the merger makes should make it bullish now rather than when it happens. Yeah, well, I mean, we can see it clearly here. It's getting an inflow just this month or month to date is 20 fucking mil, 20 grand. It's not bad. Total, the market as a whole though is down 8.7 million for this week and negative 22 for the month, but up 467 collectively yearly. Oh, this was kind of cool. This is the tweets of Ethereum and versus Bitcoin tweets.
There's a chart.
There's a chart for that. So in January of 2022, it was almost they're almost together the same amount right now. As you can see, Bitcoin is actually on the downtrend, but ETH is starting to go up. So maybe they might flip over in tweets. Oh, the DXY. Huh? The EMAs of the T. But this is kind of cool. So this is the Dixie, and it might do a double top. He's calling a potential double top.
No. I think that's absolutely what it did.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Is it on its way down? Because this is from Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that double top.
Oh, yeah, we might fucking... The dollar might take a massive caca in its bed.
Any fucking day.
And then Bitcoin's going to go on risen. Alright, so that's cool. Oh, for those of you that don't know, the DXY is the dollar index, so the value of the dollar, US dollar.
Measures the strength of the US dollar.
What is this? DXY Bitcoin correlation. Oh, so this is the correlation of Bitcoin to the DXY. This is kind of, I don't remember how to read that.
Basically, when the DXY goes up, Bitcoin goes down, and when the DXY goes down, it pumps Bitcoin up.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, I think this is,
I think this is the DXY, and
oh,
this is
okay.
Bitcoin.
No, it's not the same.
One of them is on the bottom.
Yeah, let's see. Who the hell said this? So somebody wrote an article about Bitcoin falling below 20,000 soon. Jack Denton, who knows who the hell that is, but okay, that's what he thinks. 500 DMA, 200 DMA, and 200 WMA. I have no idea what the hell that is. That's
Weekly moving average.
weekly, daily, and daily. Yeah, so I don't know. That's some shit James is. Let's see, Biden. Oh, you guys catch this bullshit? I think this is this is the debt. I wonder if it's gonna, you think it's gonna happen or not? The cancellation. It did happen?
No, I think he canceled it. They backed out of that, no?
They backed out?
The student debt thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the student debt thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go through it.
Mwah. I told Mo, I'm like, yeah, bro, they ain't gonna do that shit. And he's like, oh, I need them to. I'm like, I hope they do, bro, for your sake.
For a lot of people say,
Yeah.
but
But
help out a lot of
this fucking asshole's gonna do none of that for us.
Yeah, but we'll send another 30 million to fucking Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Give Nazis another fucking 30 million.
Good old America.
Or, excuse me, 30 billion.
Oh,
With a B. With a B.
BPOX restraint. China has refrained from drastic rate moves unlike the U.S. and Europe. Oh, so this is the. Oh wow, this is a. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. This is the Fed hikes for European hike and the U.S. hike, and then the Chinese in comparison. So China's yellow, as you can see, we went bananas, and then this is the Europeans. They're about to go bananas, and China's like, yeah, we're gonna coast. So that's kind of cool. What is this?
Travis is always been out.
Yeah, but they're seeing pretty flat though. Sharpest decline in sales. Oh, we have a super decline in sales since the 1980s. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that drop. Oh yeah, recession.
What's worse than a recession?
Yeah, I'll take some water now. Yeah. Oh yeah, so can I show you that? Pepsi. Oh, I'll take some Pepsi. Alright. U.S. business activity contracts again gauge of manufacturing service on both sides in August. So contract versus expansion. So we're on the downside on contracts versus expansion. So I guess this is all like recession type stuff. Let's see. Okay, everything was in the green except the BTC. Oh no, that's comparing it to Bitcoin. Never mind. Everything was in green. That's cool. That was a good. Tuesday was a green day. This is an altcoin season indicator.
Ooh,
It shoots up
what does it
again.
say?
So as of this chart, it said it was at 75. Oh no, 84. 84% above. So altcoin season starts at anything above 75 according to this chart, and it's at 84. So
we are in an altcoin season.
But it also peaked up back in after when it peaked at the 70, almost 70. The alt is the same thing. So I don't know how useful that chart is. It doesn't seem very accurate. BTC realized price. That is delicious.
Did I get someone?
Come get some. Fucking looking pro. He's trying to do a commercial. That's why. Huh? Okay, what is this? This is a disgusting looking chart. Bitcoin cycle aligned with all-time high scale by realized price. Yeah, I'm not gonna break that one down. That is an ugly chart. Somebody else probably did that. Crypto community set Bitcoin price for September 30, 2022. I don't know what that's even referring to.
We want to thank, shout out to Invest Answers for giving us all the answers here.
Yeah, all the free charts.
We're basically like
stealing his
just stealing all his
yeah. So
his shit.
Yeah, basically.
We're looking out.
In assets return. So seasonality. I don't know. I heard this on the car ride home, so I didn't get to watch this. I've been in training and I don't have a lot of time, and I've been looking at apartments. So as soon as I get home, I go look at apartments. So yeah, I've been not having any time to do crypto. I apologize.
It's all to the good.
Yeah.
Thank God we got James. yo, James. If it's any consolation, we still Coins Kids TA all day. You know what I mean? So don't feel bad. You're not the only one we're jacking over here. We'll occasionally get something from Alex if he ever comes out with anything.
Yeah, or even BitBoy. I'll admit that takes some shit. All right, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you. Shout out to Invest Answers.
Yeah.
Get your Invest Answers on. You can probably break all of this down a lot better than we just did.
I see. My goal was to, because his shit's really complicated, it's very complex. If you can handle that kind of dryness of complexity, then watch his shit. If you can't,
watch our shit.
What I try to do is
way funnier
dumb
than
it,
James.
dumb it down and make it fun and more digestible. But like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to break it down like how I normally do. So because of that, I'm kind of just going with the flow.
Yeah, this is as good as it's gonna get for you guys. Just
for today.
Be good. Be grateful that you got that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're gonna go anywhere and get some good fundamental analysis anyway.
Yeah.
Half you motherfuckers don't know what you're looking for.
Even better. Yeah. Slide it on over.
Alright. Let me get all this paraphernalia out of the way real quick. Hold on.
Since you're gonna use your computer, I'm gonna try and copy what you're doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because they're seeing this screen.
So
on YouTube, then.
One thing you're gonna want to bring up is the DXY's chart, and I'm gonna be looking at Bitcoin. Might go over some material. Alright, guys. Time for my favorite part of the day. I don't know what I do on my free time anyway. Yeah, smoke. Smoke and look at charts. Alright. Do you see that good? Alright, cool.
Alright, DXY is pulled up and the Bitcoin chart is posted.
Alright, so one thing that we're looking at here is this is the daily chart, and we're looking at this last dip, right? What we have here is what we call consolidation with compression. It's like the price doesn't have that much room, and you can tell by the size of the wicks from the tops and the bottoms that it's like it's hitting resistance, it's hitting support, it's hitting resistance, it's hitting support, and that's compression. Compression leads to expansion. Okay, so that's the lesson here. Compression leads to expansion. It has, as the closer it gets to this narrowing, the more of a decision it's going to have to make, whether it is close to the upside or whether it's close to the downside. So when we zoom in, we see today's candle broke the resistance. right? So this next candle, which will close tomorrow, it looks like it's back testing it for support. And if we do find support on it, we should have continuation. So when you break resistance, resistance becomes your support. Back test the support for continuation. That's the rule of thumb. So that's kind of what we see here. We see resistance is bumping its head, it's bumping its head, it's bumping its head. Finally gets above it. It needs to come back to it, test it for support, and then we can have continuation. Now,
It looks like this, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just duplicating what it posed doing on his computer for those on YouTube.
Yeah, so if you're on YouTube, Red Hot is basically showing you it's the same thing. Now, make sure you're on log and we're going to listen.
Yeah, it's on the.
So, when we look at, what we have been doing for the last couple of weeks, it's my opinion that this is the bottom here. This 17.5 is the bottom. And one thing that we have been looking at, if you're not in the crypto thread, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing because you're getting a lot of good information, some good alpha in there. You're getting, like, as soon as we see it, we're calling it. But one thing we've been doing is we've been using our Fibonacci to determine where we're going. And I'll tell you why we are laying the fib from this high to this low. And it's because it's the first impulsive wave after this downtrend. So once we hit the bottom here and we made our first wave up and our first wave down, to me, that was kind of the most important point to identify, like, okay, where's the potential that it's going from now on, right? So once we had the data in, once we had a high and a low, I felt like, okay, that's the point where we start measuring.
Was it right?
Yes,
That one? Okay.
It's going to be the wick, from wick to wick.
Oh, wick to wick. So the
Yeah.
bottom of the wick.
Yeah, from the top of the wick, from here to here. Then let's just stretch it out so you can see how the price has adhered to this bit.
Oh, I'm on the wrong wick. This one. There we go. Okay.
Whatever reason.
Excuse me.
Make sure your fibs are on.
Yeah.
So now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So what we see here is once we break this one fib that sits at 21.8, we knew that at a very minimum, the price was going to go to the 1618, right? The 1618 fib is now on the clock. Let me actually fix this right. The 24.2 is what we were calling, and that was the price that we had been saying we had been eyeing from over here since July 8th, pretty much July, I would say 4th. We had been eyeing that 24.2 and 25.8, which was also a W bottom pattern here to here.
24.2.
Yeah.
You talking about the top of that little run?
Yeah, so the top of this to the bottom. Like that. Where was I measuring that? I might have measured it off of this. The one.
Oh, yeah. First one.
So this W bottom kind of gave us a range of that 2. We were kind of right in that range. To confirm that was probably the likely direction of that. So what it did essentially is once it actually came, look at we hit on this candle, we wicked right up to the 1618. We filled that, and then what did we do? We came back. The 1618 and the 0618 have like a very special relationship to each other. For whatever reason, on the FIBs, Bitcoin will always retrace to the 0618 as the golden ratio for the Fibonacci, right? And then the rule is if we break the one fib, the 1618 is our minimum target. What happened? We met the target. We came back to the 0618. We refueled. We came back up. We broke the 1618. We went a little higher. We came back. We broke it again, and then we fell back, right back in the range of our golden ratio to refuel for another push, right? So that's what it looks like. That's what we've been following. This is how we're trying to take the guesswork out of investing and just kind of based on the math, based on the fibs, based on technical targets to confirm the likeliness of where we're going. Right? So we can lay a fib from the last impulsive wave up to the bottom of where we currently are, which looks like this, from this top that we made to the bottom here. And we could say that if Bitcoin, if this is the bottom here, and Bitcoin begins to make another impulsive wave up, if it gets above 25.2, the 1618 at 28.5 is now on the table, right? That would be the technical target in the event that we get above this one fib. Okay, so which fib was that?
It was the
The 1618. Scroll down. What happened? Oh. No, I mean this could take a couple days, a week. You know,
where are we at right now?
we are currently at 21.5. We just broke this, which which fib we're in between the 0236 fib and the zero fib. So if this was our bottom, and that's something that like if you were in the thread, we called this using the fibs, right? Use basically looking at this to determine where we were going to go using the bottom of the previous impulsive wave to the top. We basically flip the fib upside down when we're looking for points of retracement. Okay, and that's basically what I did. I just flipped the fib upside down, and I said, okay, if we're retracing, it is very likely that we're going to retrace to the golden ratio of 0.618. The second we broke that golden ratio, I said the one fib has to hold. If it doesn't hold, then we are going, just like when we pump up, we're going to the 1618. Right? We break the one, we're going to the 1618, and we nailed it on the bottom, on the dollar, really. Fucking nailed that. And it was also confirmation because this was our level of support right here, which was the previous wick low here. That was support. So we said, okay, this is support, and it lands right on our 1618. That's where we're going. You know, it's confluence, but that's where it's going to go. So we flip this back upside down. Flip the fib right side up again. We're saying the 0618, the golden ratio, is a minimum retracement from where we're at. This is the bottom of a correction, of a running flat correction, which essentially looks like this. Pull up your ABC. And, that's our correction. And this kind of like the running flat is one of the hardest corrections to be able to call. You kind of don't know that that's what it is until it's already over. So it's hard to call it before it happens, or even while it's happening. It's very difficult. So I was scratching my head on this for fucking days, wondering what the hell am I looking at, and it was a running flat correction. So if I'm correct and this is a running flat correction, then that means the correction's over, and we should start to make an impulsive wave up. A minimum target for us is going to be the 0618 at 23.4. We break that, then we're looking to break the one. If we break the one, we're going to go. I think, and this is all like on the bullish side, right? I think this is all probably how this is all going to play out. There's a chance that it doesn't play out like that. And one thing that is very worrisome, we're going to go ahead and pull up our EMAs. EMAs. And I'm going to show you what worries me.
What are you using? 50, 55, 20? 55 red.
I always like to make my 55 red and the 20 stays blue. All right, so in this scenario that we kind of laid out, we would retrace, right? We do get back up to the one that would pull this 20 up, creating a buy and go to the beach signal, which we almost fucking had right here.
Yeah.
We just closed another day above the 55, we would have had it in. But these are better buying opportunities, I guess, to try to ride that wave up. So in this bullish scenario where we start to retrace and we reclaim, we're going to create a buy and go to the beach signal, which is a very, very bullish signal. That's great. Then that means that's confirmation for me that bull run is probably going to be back in very soon, especially if we get that kind of signal. The bearish side of things is when we go to the 1 month chart and yeah. Now with charting, it's important to understand that the further back you're looking at it, the more relevant the data is. So basically, the 1 hour gets trumped by the 4 hour chart, which gets trumped by the 8 hour chart, which gets trumped by the 1 day chart. The 1 week is more important than the 1 day, and the 1 month is more important than the 1 week. Right? So the further back you get a perspective of things, the more relevant. Okay. So what's happened here is we fell through our 20 EMA on the monthly. So then our next level of support naturally is the 55. Right? Anytime we fall through the 55, historically, when we zoom out and we see that we fell below that 55, the very next month we've always closed above the 55. Look, over here, we fell out of the 55. This one, I mean, let's say I'm not sure how to read this exactly, because we did wick down here, then we wick down here, then we closed the candle here. We kind of tested it here, and we got above there. So maybe there was like a couple of months there where we're kind of teetering on it. And is that kind of what's playing out here? Because we came down, we came back up, we ran into resistance, and then if this month we fail to close above our monthly candle above that, that's confirming resistance, and we've never had a long extended period of time where we are under that 55. The rule of thumb is when you are under the EMAs, you are technically on a downtrend. When you are in between the EMAs, you are consolidating, and when you are above the EMAs, you are on an uptrend, right? So that would confirm to me that Bitcoin is in is doing something that it probably never has done before, and we are going to start going into uncharted territories, which is kind of worrisome, right? So
This whole time
this year has been the year of it's different this time, you know.
Yep.
So that is definitely worrisome. It's important that we just put a mark right here, bam. You know, at 24. What is it? 24.3. That's where the 55 EMA sits on the monthly. And then as we monitor what's going on, you know, we just go, okay, well, it's important that we get over that. If we could just get over that at the end of the month, man, that would really put a lot of confidence back into like, okay, you know, the more bullish scenario is probably the play, right? Probably what's going to go. So you just like as you can see, these candles right here kind of close right on that as seems to be resistance. Kind of hardened resistance here. So maybe that's what we needed. We hit that. We tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Failed to get above it. Said, okay, we need more gas. Came back to support. Gassed up. Push up again. Pulling the EMAs even further down than they were over here. They were over here at 23.6 before. Now they're sitting down here at 22.1. So getting above them is going to be a little more easier, right? Force them above. Finally get that buy and go to the beach. Let that be what propels us into these higher fibs, and then we're off to the races from there. So bearish scenario is we fail to get above that 55 EMA and we start hitting our head on that as resistance. Then we're probably going to start seeing lower prices. I would imagine it's not going to consolidate sideways for very much longer. It has to make a decision whether it's going to go up or down, and that would kind of point me in the direction that down is the scenario. If we do get above 24.4, let's just say 25,000. If we get into the 25,000 range, then we're really good to go in terms of the future looks kind of bright. The other thing on the bearish side of things that we need to be really aware of is we're going into September. It's known as Rectember in crypto, right? So we're going into Rectember. Now, is this another one of those? It's a little different this time, and we don't fucking get wrecked, and everybody is kind of like preparing for the wrecking that's gonna happen in September because it always happens in September, and it just doesn't happen this time. Man, I'm praying that that's the case because we're really on like a nice edge, and we've been kind of feeling like that, months back, but like it's really, really, really critical right now. So this is what makes it breaks, and yeah, it's kind of hard. We won't really know until it happens, right? We won't know we're above, we're smooth sailings until we close candles above 24.4, and really, I think it's important if we start falling under this right here, we're fucked. You know what I'm saying? I don't think support down here is going to start holding. Now, the bullish thing is all of these dips down are attempts to break this support, and it failed. Right? It's failed to break that support. It went at it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times, and support is held. So, is there reason to believe that like it's not going to hold in the future? I mean, we really have to see the pattern that's going to play out that would signify that lower is where we're going. Until then, we'll just have to see how this plays out. I think the next week, maybe week and a half is going to be the make or break moment. So put the 200 and the 20 EMA.
And just to kind of add on to that from a fundamentals perspective, one of the things that we can count on in September is the next government hikes. And the number that we're looking for is nowhere above, I believe, once it gets to 2%, that's it. Like, we're in, like, financial Armageddon as far as our economy. So what people are assuming is that it might take a massive shit in September. They might increase the rates again, which is kind of anticipated. But so we might actually see that drop around that same time, which is what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Fundamentally, that kind of lines up. However, those hikes can't keep going that direction. I mean, it can, but it's gonna essentially drop the United States in such a bad recession. It's going to be on that level of depression status. And one of the things that James likes to talk about is that during election years, the Democrats or the Republicans, whoever's in the seat, doesn't want to go out on a bad note. So there's a good chance they might go dovish on that rate increase to a decrease again, which could cause the market to fucking catapult upwards. And all the markets will flourish at that point, including equities and housing and all that good stuff. So I personally, on that bearish news, I feel like we probably are more headed towards that direction. But for short term, not a long term thing. So November. Huh?
He said you don't want to hear that. All right,
So November. That's another buying opportunity. Buy it in November, in September.
Great, right? So one thing that Spoil pointed out was the 200 and the 20, and it looks like they're about to form a bullish cross on the weekly. A bearish cross on the weekly. I'm not sure of what the correlation between the 200 and the 20 is. I just briefly just looked over in the history of Bitcoin. They've never crossed. So what happens when they do cross? What does it actually mean? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's never happened. So, but one thing, yeah, that's not good. Or who knows? That might signify some kind of bottom or something. There's different crosses, different EMAs. That's how Coins Kid nailed the week of the 18th of June, 18th as the bottom because of a bearish cross on the, what was it, the 100 and the 20 cross or something like that. So I'm not sure what this would mean. I don't think anybody really knows what this would mean. It's never happened before, so that doesn't look good. But when we look at this on a daily, though, when we go back to the daily and we look at that, like that's super like overextended. You know what I mean? The EMAs are like really far away from each other.
Well, on the 100, I'll just trip it out on that. So if you go based on the 100 and you were to sell out that cross, the negative side, and then buy back in on the upside, you were up. You could have been up 1,100% from the buying from here in that zone all the way to the top of the market. Even if you sold, you would have still been up. I think it was like 200% if you sold at that second cross down the death cross in the opposite direction. So it was you had sold on this day.
Okay. I'm try to rotate you guys so you can see what.
So what Expo said about CoinsKid buying, selling, and buying in at the. Let me close the RSI for the please. Okay, so if we're measuring from when it crossed, so look at if you look at here, this is the 20 and this is the 100. So it did a death cross here. That's a sell. That's a sell indicator. So if you sold and then bought in at the height of at the cross mark, that would have put you in a pretty good range because you would have been, where do you go? It's here at about right there. So, and if you would have rolled it up to the tippy top, that's it's actually 700% of gain over the course of from May of 2019 to November of 2021.
So Spanish Coil says it's a bear flag on the weekly. What's a bear flag on the weekly? You've been calling mad bear flags and none of them technical targets at all.
And also, just an FYI, if you were to sold at the death cross one on the 120 on the way down, you would have been still up 200% if you just used strictly EMA indicators.
And then, okay, so I'm looking at the weekly right now. I'll clean up this TA and I'll try to see it. Honestly, but the point that I was making, real quick before I go into what you were pointing out, Spanish Coil, is that if we look on the daily of the 200 and the 20, like they're super overextended. Overextension leads to expansion, right? So if we're this far away from each other, the tendency is to like get them to pinch. You see how like right here when they cross, the price kind of comes up. It forces the EMA to get closer to it. You almost got a bullish signal here, and then it rolls, right? And then it just gets too far away from each other. So what the price tends to do is to, especially when you get this far away from each other, you start to consolidate, and it forces these EMAs closer together. Let me find another good example. Oh, perfect. It even works like that when we're on the uptrend too. You see how far away these EMAs are to each other? Like this is a telltale signal that like, hey, the price is gonna start going down because the EMAs are too far away from each other. They've expanded too far away, right? And so that's what happened here. Price comes down, they consolidate into each other, right? And then it starts to run. They start to expand too much, so it comes down, right? Well, the same works.
Oh, you said to do that?
So the same works now, right? Where if we start going further down, there's even more extension going on between the EMAs, and I just that's one of the tall tale signals for me of like why this was the bottom. Why I thought like, okay, I think this is probably true because of how far the EMAs are getting from each other. And I had seen that be the case over here when we were at these tops and we were getting further and further away from each other on the EMAs. I don't really look at the 200 too much. I look at the 55. But you'll see the same thing when you look at the 55 in correlation to the 20. Right? You see how like expanded they were here? This was telling me like, no, it's not going to go lower. It can't. You know, it has to come back up. These has the tendency to squeeze these EMAs together. When we were over here and we were getting all of this expansion, it had to squeeze them together. And then when we're down here and you're getting all of this space, it has to bring the price up together. So this is the tendency. And when I see that like these EMAs are that far apart from each other, it's hard for me to like believe that it's just going to continue to go lower, right? So not without it squeezing first. So he was saying something about the weekly, there being a bear flag on the weekly. So let's look at that. That's out of the way.
While you're doing that real quick, I ran a Bollinger and we hit the bottom of the Bollinger. It bounced up, but it's still floating. So it still might be on a potential downside because it usually bounces when it goes up and then down. And because it hit that resistance line, it doesn't look like it's going to continue going up. So Only bullish looking. Only a bearish looking.
Maybe that. Is that what you're looking at, Lounge Coil? Are you still there?
Something that I did.
I didn't see it saying something that was coming. So, right?
Yeah, he was saying, is that a bear flag on the weekly? If you scroll up, he had asked, is that a bear flag on the weekly? Maybe? Maybe?
Who's the right hand crossing your channel?
I don't know how to access that. Like on TradingView, I don't even think I could access this. Oh, they do have Gaussian channels.
Or is it a rising wedge?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting more touches on a rising wedge. Something like this.
Oh, we have Gaussian channels now. Oh, we're in the green zone.
Maybe something like that. I don't know. I mean, um, I'm getting. I'm trying to make the. I'm trying to make the bear flag happen. I'm getting 2 touches on a bear flag, but I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the top for this rising wedge, and 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the bottom on the rising wedge. So I think with trend lines, it's like
that.
the.
No, it's more like
This. See how it looks like an upward trend.
right.
And then that one down.
There's 2 touches. There and nice.
Oh, you're looking on the down, looking on the week.
Oh shit. No, that might be why. Let's turn that off. Just go to see that we have it. Oh, weekly. Oh, okay. Let's see. So that
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. And cutting into the body of this one. Yeah, maybe something like that. If you extend it, you can kind of see where they're starting to close into each other.
it's way out there, bro. It's like,
I think I have like a different angle.
it's a massive.
I mean, it'd never get there because the compression happens here, right? So, I mean, is it a bear flag or is it a rising wedge? I don't. It's kind of hard to tell.
The only thing I can see is this right here, but I don't even know if you want to call it that.
Sure. I'm just saying. Yeah, possibly. I would say possibly. Um, maybe a bear flag, maybe a rising wedge. I think I'm getting more touches on the rising wedge than the bear flag. If it is a bear flag, or the trend line that is more has more touches is more relevant. So if something has 1 touch or 2 touches, and then something else has 8 touches or something like that, that's probably the more likely one. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for TA. Oh yeah, the Dixie. Um, Red Hawk already kind of pointed it out that you got a double top pattern. Something that's very good for crypto is that we get this DXY starts falling. Um, and give you some targets here. I think if we lose this to form the M pattern of the double top, we're gonna go from there. We measure from the top to the neckline, and if we lose that, we're going down. And this is how we find the target. So right away, looking at this, I would say this is going to be our target. Which is technically lower than this dip. You see this dip right here? And if we fall under this, if it's just a wick down and then we bounce, then you should be fine. But if we start closing under this, then it's not good because you're coming down here. Right? So on the technical target of this double line top pattern, we're looking at 101 on the DXY. If that does not hold, then you're looking at 97. I'd say that's probably where you're going to go. That's a major pump for Bitcoin. That's a super duper duper pump for Bitcoin. So yeah, this doesn't look good for the DXY. If you've been pumping money into the dollar, you might want to start reconsidering putting the profits that you made on that, and maybe go on to some other assets because this is going to roll.
Yeah.
So that's the DXY.
And American companies can deal with that.
So I doubt anybody's gonna get this far into the video. And if you held on this long and you've been getting, I'm gonna give you something that only a couple people got. You know what I mean? Only a handful of people are getting this kind of alpha. And I'm gonna save it to the end. If you got this far, fuck it, you deserved it. And that's this right here. That's this right here. So we're looking at Ethereum. And if I flip it upside down, you can kind of see what I'm talking about a little better. I'm going to go ahead and invert this chart, lock on this one, and then invert the scale. So this is Ethereum upside down, right? And if, in my opinion, we draw a line across this, like this, it is very clearly what we call a head and shoulder pattern. This is a shoulder. This is like a Bart Simpson head, right? And it came down and it made another shoulder. Right? So if you break this line, then you have a technical target from the top of the head to the neckline, and then bring it down, and that's your target. So now we're gonna go ahead. So it's easy to see the head and shoulders, right? Kind of very obvious. But when we flip it upside down, inverted head and shoulders, it's kind of harder to see sometimes. So flip the scale. That's where you're going. Which also happens to be the all-time high for Ethereum. So it is my opinion that if Ethereum turns around and breaks 2,000, maybe probably a little lower, probably really low right here. So if it breaks 2K, if the price comes back up and you see Ethereum break this 2K, I would probably bet almost life on it. Then you're gonna retrace to the all-time high. You know what I mean? It gives us a technical target that points right back to where we started this downtrend from. You know, and is this one of those? You know, we think it's a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event with the merger, but it really isn't. And the fact that like a lot of that ETH is locked away, you know what I mean, creates this this catapulting event, you know, what forces the price to just fucking skyrocket the way it is. I don't know, but if you look at that, it's hard for me to look at that and see bearishness in that. You know, that's a super bullish statement. If it can do that, especially if it does it in the next couple of days leading into the merger,
Yeah.
if you see the price get above that, man, I think you're on a fucking run. So, yeah.
And BitBoy, to add to that, has been saying that. He's like, dude, now is the time to get into. He's like, he's been pushing that hard, and he's like, ETH is his thing right now. He's been showing the shit out of it.
Yeah. And if we look at percentages, then that's, if you just waited for that to happen and you go, okay, now I'm in, you're talking about 133%. It's already gone, right? It already went on right now it's at 88%. So if you bought the bottom, you're still up. Even with this pullback, you're still up 88%. It ran up 130 or something like that.
Yeah, it was
there.
Yeah, it was. I was down.
134%. Did a backflip.
Backflip your money on a bear in the middle of a potential bear.
Right. So if you bought in there and then you rotated it back all the way up to the all-time high, fuck, man, you did really good for yourself. You're talking about it's a 444% trade on the second strongest asset in crypto.
Pretty good.
You know,
that's a safe bet. I mean, that's pretty safe.
Yeah, you're talking about like low risk, high reward. You know what I mean? And this is what we got to look for. These moments where we're like low risk, high reward. You know, where
they don't come off.
Yeah, they don't. So
high risk,
and especially in a volatile market like this, right? So
during a downturn, relatively downturn.
Yeah, this is not financial advice, but yeah, you know, definitely wanna put that out there, you know, and hopefully that he's it. And we look back at this in fucking 6 months, and we got the fucking told you so moment. We fucking told you still broke. What the fuck? You didn't fucking have $800 for the throne at the bottom. Fuck is wrong with you?
I'm in that boat. I don't the fuck out. I don't have any extra. I'm like extra capital in my deposit.
Yeah. God,
yeah. This is what happened last time.
Yeah.
What happened last time?
This is what always happens, right? Oh, what always happens.
Literally, last time I moved.
Now for you, Omen, I'm gonna show you something special because you're like the only one here still.
The dicks. Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the one. I'm gonna show you the fastest horse in the race right now. Oh my god!
For you YouTubers that are on here, we're gonna show. I'll show you the same shit.
All right. Well, you get a double whammy. Double whammy. Look at this.
That eagle. That's the eagle right there.
Look at this.
What is that? What is it? The meerkat?
Yeah, the METF. The fastest horse in the race right now. Look at what this shit did. And down here,
it's fast because it's on crack.
Look at that. 860%. Look at that.
What's the pair?
I'm looking at METF to MMF.
To MMF?
Yeah. Trying to take this thing to. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. In 70 days. So, this is 70 days. This is from here to here.
Which time zone?
73 days.
You're in days?
I'm in days. Scroll out a little bit.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, you're an SVN?
Oh shit.
MMF. And
What happened? How did I get to SBN? Could have sworn I picked it up.
So, I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna show you something.
Oh, SBN, so strong.
Let me erase that real quick. Now, I've been targeting $10 based on fibs, on this fib right here. As soon as we made this high to that low, yo, this is where we're going. 1618 hit, currently back testing the 1618. And then I have a target here at $14, but the two fib sits at $15.85. Right? So from the bottom to $15.85, that's 1,000% to 10x. So what I think is, once that gets there, I think that's the end of wave one.
Damn.
We correct, and then it will push on to wave two. Now, it was kind of tricky to figure out where to place the EMA. I mean the fib, the one fib, because we have this up here, which is also another place that you would put a fib if you were retracing this downtrend. You could put it there. In this event, if this $14 or the $15 hit, that means you're breaking that one fib, and it puts you into a technical target of a 1618 back up to $46. From right now to $46 is another 337%. Just to get there. Right? So if and then the two sits at $104. We're back to the prices that we originally bought in at. Right? $104. The two EMA. Could it get there? It's never had, look in the history of this, it's never had a buy and go to the beach signal up until just yesterday. They formed it. Right there. So it's never had this signal before. We've never had this asset run simultaneously to a Bitcoin uptrend. Since its inception, it's been on a Bitcoin downtrend.
Holy shit. And it's been running up.
And since it bought, so long as Bitcoin bottomed, it ran. Right? There's no other crypto right now that has went up 700%. I've looked at everything. Nothing has ran like this.
Other than fucking pump and dumps that are up for
that
one day and then they're gone.
Maybe Squid Coin or fucking Ass Coin
goes
or
up
something
2,000% for one day and then goes back to zero.
So, and then what do we see here? We see stairs. This is exactly the kind of structure that you would want to see for continuation.
Yep.
You know, not just bam, one candle that comes up here 700%, but no, the time that it took to fucking carve out a bottom, to make support, go on to the next level, make support, go on to the next level.
Are you farming it still right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're compounding the fuck out of your shit.
So
I pulled out of this. I'm scared of cats.
It's funny. You pulled out of like the most the most sketchiest shit,
and then
the high liquidity shit to go play the safe route, and it was here we are investing in shit like Hakuna Matata. And not getting rug pulled. And you're getting self rug pulled. Oh, that's great. All right. So
that's like going to the bunny ranch in Vegas and getting like AIDS, but you're over here banging like gutter hookers and like they're coming out scot free.
Yeah, bro.
My shit's clear as a
whistle. So yeah, if we ever do get back into this range, right, for whatever reason, if we ever retrace back to the all-time high, so this is ridiculous.
What's my life?
This is ridiculous. Look at this.
Hey, you got some water here?
Yeah. in the fridge. Go ahead. Help yourself. And look where the 618 sits. If we ever break the all-time high of this asset, which has never been in a fucking, once again, it's never been in a buy and go to the beach signal. It's never been on a Bitcoin uptrend. Then we are 100%. If we break 380, we are going to $11,975. From right now. You ever heard of shit going 100, getting 100 X's? Yeah, this is it. This is 111 X's. 117 X's.
One thing I want to share about that is during a bear run, most shitty ass projects that aren't really worth the shit would have rug pulled already. Because they can't handle
the volatility.
They can't pay people out. So they have to rug pull you. I'm really surprised that they're surviving during this downturn. So that tells me there's actually might actually be a decent fucking project.
I thought it was when I looked at, when I looked into it and I read the white papers and I went through it all. I thought it looked like something that would hold the test of time, and that's why I kept DCAing into this. You know what I mean? And when it bottomed out, I was like,
I feel like it's paid off.
Yo, yeah, I did really well on this.
Even with the
it's probably the best thing I've ever fucking invested in. You know what I mean? So
and you got the NFTs from there too.
Yeah. So check it out. The other thing is, like, you may feel like, oh my god, like I missed my opportunity, right? Fuck, it already ran up 800%. Like, I missed my opportunity. But if you scroll down from the top all the way down, it's still down 97%.
From its all-time high?
Yeah. It's still down 97%.
God damn.
You didn't miss out on shit. You know? Yeah, you didn't get in on the bottom. Yeah, you waited. You probably did the fucking smart thing and you waited for the buy and go to the beat signal to jump back in. You know what I mean? Like that's the smarter thing to do, right? You trade on confirmation. This is what we talk about, like trade on confirmation. Right? Don't be a degenerate like Exposed and just fucking jump in a Kuna Matata projects in a fucking bear run. You know? Right? That's what you don't do. But
yeah, it's just me.
Probably just let it sit for a little bit while more. I'll tell you when, like, you're probably broke even. You know what I mean? And you can look at it and you might be in like a significant little profit there. But yeah, it still needs a little bit more work to go. If you wanted to DCA into it, man, man, you got the buy and go to the beach signal. So
did you get the? I got a percentage for all-time high from now.
What you got? Oh, back to the all-time high?
Yeah.
It would go 39x?
39x?
Yeah, you get a 39x to write it back up to its all-time high. That's not fucking bad at all. I don't know anything that's done that. Well, maybe Hex. Maybe if you got into Hex when it was fucking early, you might be able to get that. But
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so I think this is the fastest horse in the race right now. This is out competing everything. It might be something, if you had the risk tolerance to get into. Don't fucking start with me.
Get with it.
If you had the risk tolerance and you can stomach this, and this is the other thing, is if you're still in fucking crypto, and this is the part of like people saying like, oh, we're gonna go back down, we're going to lower numbers. How? Who's left? You know? like you know what I mean? Like you need to, if this is exit liquidity, like all the liquidity has already exited. You know what I mean? Like months ago everybody left crypto. Only people left are the fucking hardcore. Right? That's the only people who are still playing the game. So yeah, I find it very hard to believe that like we're gonna continue to go lower into lower numbers, because this is some kind of like a exit liquidity scam for the whales, although they've been accumulating this whole fucking pit, you know?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. If you want
No, I
to
don't
give some last minute
that shit.
anything?
Just I mean, to be honest, even on the hey, you might be buying the news and you might be writing it down. ETH is still gonna go up. Maybe not right now if it does fucking sell down, but eventually it will go back up and it'll go up substantially, in my opinion. So it's not a bad buy as far as like a shameless chill, you know.
Yeah, you know, even that's a good one. Even if we did go to lower numbers, you know, even if it fell another 20%, only fucking 20%.
Right.
You know, so if you got in right now and it went 20% lower, is anybody really gonna cry about that? You know, like you've already, if people have already eaten 80% can stomach 70% pullbacks.
Right.
You know, like are you really gonna cry about 20%? Like this is why we get into this market, right? So
Yep.
you know the potential of a return back to all time high far outweighs
Yes.
the risk of a 30% pullback.
Or going to zero. Like
I don't think it's ever going to
yeah,
go to
exactly.
zero.
That's
You know,
my
I think
point.
we're beyond that now. You know, when we see big, huge fucking investment entities getting into crypto, you know, BlackRock,
Oh
and
yeah, that was
fucking
that's
JP Morgan, and all of these huge investment firms getting in. I think the days where we fear Bitcoin going to zero are long past. Let's see, here we go.
what happened? You got
Yeah,
booted?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this shit went back down to its original
So,
price.
oh yeah, so Shameless Shills. Shameless Shills, right? So I think I'm gonna shield that ME. I think I already shielded that though. Can we double the Shameless Shills? Sure. Can we do that more than once, or is that like unethical?
What? Is this the same coin?
To continuously shield the same shit?
Okay, so then different coin?
Yeah, or is it cool to?
Fuck
I
it.
don't know.
I'll do a different coin. Shit.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't give a shit. It's a shameless fucking
Oh,
shit.
yeah, okay, all right. We're gonna look at it like that. We're gonna look at it like that. I'm good with that. We don't give a fuck. All right. So I guess I shield my shameless shield is gonna be that METF coin,
Oh, okay.
fastest horse in the race, right there.
Yeah. Fastest horse in the
yeah,
land.
not financial advice, but you should really get some of that so I can drop my bags on you.
Oh,
But
shit.
hold on, real quick. Let me put this around so Red Hot can show you what he's looking at.
Alright. So, alright, mine is, I guess, Everdome. So, this is a metaverse project that I got in on. It's doing terrible, but
it's a good time to get in.
but
it's doing terrible.
It truly is, and let me tell you why. So the reason why is because the game hasn't came out yet. It's still in development phase. They were accepting, entry points for people
wait,
to get
just
in
looking
early.
at that, sorry to cut you off. Looking at that chart, when did this project start?
It started in February 2022.
February 2022. So I think we have to keep in mind with this project, just like a whole lot of other projects,
Came out
is it was born in a point where Bitcoin was on a downwind.
Right.
It never saw Bitcoin on an uptrend.
Correct.
So this is partly why the fucking chart looks this terrible.
Right.
Right. It's not that it's a horrible project. It's not that. Right. It's a rug pull. It's not any of those things. It's that it was born at a time when Bitcoin was sinking the market, and all it's ever known is the sinking of the market.
Right. So yeah, that's a big factor. I wasn't even talking about that, but it's a very good one to point. The whole point of this project in particular is it's creating the first realistic looking metaverse. No other metaverse has realistic graphics. They're all kind of like blocky and You know, if you look at like Sandbox and shit, they look like Minecrafty. You know, it's cool. You know, you get to be in VR and that, but it's very childish looking. So the reason why this project is taking its sweet ass time is because it has to design. They were actually going to put this game on one of those platforms like Sandbox or something, and then they realized that it didn't have the power to run something that extreme on that high of an engine. So they had to design a game from scratch. That's why there's actually 2 coins on this project. There's Everdome and Meta Hero. They've had a few handful of actual like partnerships with an MMA from there's this European MMA organization that they combined with, so they actually scanned in some of their fighters, or they're going to if they haven't done it already. They also, I think, were in partnership with one of the indie cars, so they actually have like legit partnerships. They're not like UFC, but you know they're still partnerships nonetheless. And like I said, the game hasn't came. There's nobody playing it yet.
No, that's big though.
And if like I can show you something that's kind of cool, they did do a recent land sale, and there's some big names that actually bought land in their project. So that's another thing that you have to be considerate about. And what was cool is that all the profits that they made off of the land sale, they burned the coins. So the organization is also trying to keep that price. It's very inflationary because all the people that invested early are getting weekly payouts. So that's considered, you know, that's very inflationary.
And that's why the coin
isn't. Yeah, that's why
the price of it's getting pushed down like that.
Correct. So so that's another reason why. But once that stops, and it's coming very close, you know.
Hold that chart again?
Yeah. This one?
Has it bottomed yet?
It went back to its original price practically when it first came out. So it started at 6. What's that? 2 cents or 1 cent? 0.001 cent. And then it went all the way up. It's right now at 0.009. Actually, it's lower than its release price. So
grab some more.
Yeah. Oh, mind you though, I bought some. I sold the
bottom at some point and start to make some kind of recovery.
I think I sold my first release, which I forgot what it was like 10% of what I invested. So I invested 50, so it's like whatever that is, $5, and then I sold it like at 6 cents. So I fucking slanged that $5 at 58,000% increase. So I definitely made my initial back, you know. So that was kind of cool. And then what's going on here? Scroll up. Oh my god, this is all extra shit. I don't want to buy that.
I hope that's a workout that you're doing and not like you do that regularly.
What?
Look at this motherfucker. Keep doing it.
The
Keep
scrolling?
Doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Look at this one. Look at this.
Oh. Little fucking fancy ass. No, that's how you be doing that. That's how that dude is. That's how he rolls.
Is this how you roll?
That's how he rolls.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
Oh shit, look at that. I haven't seen it in a while. But check this land map out. So if you zoom in, you could actually see people that purchase things. See, like, I don't know who the fuck is that. I know BitBoy has his own. So the people who did their little anime character, that's kind of cool. Yeah, heavily popular. Look at the people that they put their flags and shit. That's kind of cool. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to buy up this land. Look at that. That's cool.
Oh, that's really dope.
That's fucking awesome. This is just from the top of the whole place. But there's actual... I'm trying to find some that you guys can see that where you know actually who they are. But
this is an NFT project?
No, this is a metaverse project. This is actual land in the project.
Are they going to be releasing NFTs?
Oh yeah. There has to be because that's what you fill your area with. So look at Alfa Romeo bought that land. Like, that's a fucking car company. You motherfuckers buy it. Look at the Jews. You're buying land.
Oh wow. Is that like Palestine or something? We're just going to that real quick.
Yeah, it's like a Jewish flag. I don't know if it's just...
I know, right? We're going to just bring that Palestine.
Palestine is like a little mini Palestine. Oh, shit. Look at that. Little fucking... Wow.
Look,
Okay.
look, they're separating somebody now.
Yeah. I don't-
The West Bank right there.
So yeah. So that's one of them. Watch, I'm trying to find another one where you can see like they had a huge chunk belonging to specific people. Like here's one right here. Let's see who's that. Fuck is loads. Oh, see OKX. So OKX Exchange bought all that land. So
Cool.
yeah, like let's see this right here. Oh, that's 10 set. That was 10 set.
Are they part of Tencent?
Yeah, they're actually partners with them. They actually helped them do like the release. So
They
kinda,
released it on Tencent?
Yeah, they actually released it first on their own platform, but the Tencent was second to be able to buy in on the project. And then there's like I know BitBoy. Oh, here he is. BitBoy has his own piece of land. See, this is BitBoy over here.
How much do you think of
They're a
that
lot,
would be?
dude. They're a lot.
Yeah?
I mean,
Expensive?
fuck yeah, like the coins were dropping. Oh my god, look at that. The coins were dropping in value, and the price was like kind of going up.
Look, so apparently, zoom in a little bit more. Just a minute.
Dude, the BitBoy.
No.
The
Yeah. It's, apparently, there's pieces of shit in the metaverse too.
Oh, fun. Let's see who owns it. We could actually see who owns it.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about fucking.
So they bought that for
Awesome.
$786, or at least that's what it's worth right now.
Probably spend like a G on it, huh?
Yeah, because it probably dropped in price. So these were more expensive. You get 230,000 coins for that. At that point in time, I know it was higher price, so it was more expensive now. Yeah, the cheapest I saw was like over 1,000. A little over 1,000. So yeah, I didn't get to buy any land.
It's like the more center you are to that little town,
It
the
was
more
weird.
expensive it was.
Yeah, it was like they were all auctioned too. So it depends actually on.
Fuck that.
Yeah, some of them were sold for cheap though. There was a handful that were like less than 1,000, but not too many. As you can see though, there's open slots still. It looks like. I don't think all of them are owned by everybody. Oh no, somebody does. $232.
That's not too bad.
So yeah, that's my shameless show. So get some of these coins, fucking ride this wave up. And look, it's not even a penny. Get a fucking, I don't know. Get whatever
A
you
couple
want.
thousand. Get a loan from grandma. Is what I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to grandma. You're gonna tell her, Grandma, I want to invest. Want to become an investor. I'm gonna invest in something. I saw the homie Red Hot talk about Everdome, and then you're gonna take that money grandma gives you, and you're gonna go invest it.
How much you give me? How much you give me?
How much you think you're getting from grandma? Like 10 racks?
10. I'll just take 1 rag.
No,
We're
we're gonna borrow
we're brown,
money
we're
from
brown.
grandma. We're gonna go get it.
Yeah,
We got a lot of cash that's stuck in a bunch of
all
different
right, 10 rags.
sewing jars and shit.
Okay, if you have grandma's pin number, she's giving you 10 rags.
10 racks.
And you don't.
Alright, and let's say how many coins we get with 10 racks. Divide that by the price of the coin.
Oh, 10, okay, so that's what is that? Point zero zero. What is it? 966.
That's what we do.
So you're getting 1,035,000 coins.
Right? Have you ever had $1 million of anything other than Shiba Inu? No. You know what I'm saying? You've never had $1 million in anything. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that for you. Alright, now let's say we ride that back up
To the all-time
to
high.
all-time high. So times that million by how much is the all-time high? No. You don't even need to do that. You just work in the calculator. Just find out what the all-time high is. Not bad.
Sorry. So it's 9 cents. 9 cents.
So you're gonna ride that 1 million up to 9 cents? How much is that?
That would be 0.9 cents. What would be the
Zero.
9?
Zero.
Oh, 0. Let's see. That would have been a different number.
Damn! Now you just turned grandma's 10 racks into $93,167. And let's just go ahead and say we're gonna give grandma back her 10 racks. And you are left with $83,167. Congratulations, you just changed your life. You know what I'm
You
saying?
now have a down
Now,
payment.
you know how much scante you can get with $83,000? You know how that you're smoking big bowls of meth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she gets the 10 G's back. Then all you gotta do is claim ignorance.
All right, what about you? Owen? You got to sing this show?
Not any kind of advice. H bar?
Hey, you only get one shield. Which one is it? Is it V chain or H bar?
ONT?
Ooh, that's a good price. Ontology at 26 cents. You getting fucking ontologies for a quarter? I was paying like $1 for those goddamn things.
Need some green blocks.
Yo, I don't care if you take losses. Take the losses. I need the blocks to move.
Well, fuck, if you write that shit back to its, was that, is that all time high? Something like that?
Is it 8? No, scroll to the left a little more.
As its part. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Whoa,
Whoa. Okay,
yeah, write that shit up
so
to its all-time high.
What is that?
Holy fuck.
$8? So from $2.26 to $8? You say fucking $8.
That's a 30x.
Yeah, 30x. That's ONT. ONT, you heard it first.
Yeah.
2 Ravens. ONT.
two Ravens drop that on you. You know, some alpha. See, that's about the only time 2 Ravens is alpha about anything. You know what I mean? You're the first to nothing. Yeah. First to nothing. Man, get that stupid bird off the screen. He kept doing that shit as you were talking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
all right,
we're out of here.
All right, people. That's enough of this.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you laughed as much as I did. Probably
Not
didn't.
too bad.